Just be out with us
to Porto, Portugal. This is part 2 of the culinary exploration in Porto. If you haven't seen part 1 of all the foods that you must try, we will leave the link in the description below.
We are here at the Garden Porto Cafe, and it's on the list of must-try places. This place is awesome. If you're into brunch, this is the spot to be. Meaning you can get pancakes, eggs, all the breakfast items at 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
They close at 7:30 p.m. so you can have your typical American gourmet breakfast options all day. And we did eat here before, so we already know that the food here is bomb.
JBO approved. Speaking of food, here comes our food now. The presentation on this French toast is absolutely amazing. The berries mixed with nuts and honey. Oh wow.
It's like a garden here.
Yes. Now this French toast, it is so good. Now when you look at it from the outside, it's a little dark, so it looks like it's kind of maybe like overcooked, but it sure isn't. It doesn't have the taste as if it's overcooked. It's very light and flaky on the outside, inside super soft.
The texture of the bread is very different as well.
That breakfast was absolutely amazing.
Exceptional.
Exceptionally amazing.
Garden Porto Cafe is JBO approved. Now on to the next spot.
If you have a sweet tooth, Porto is the place for you. There is a plethora of places. Every corner you turn, you will find a place where you can satisfy your sweet tooth and your coffee tooth.
Let's try some traditional Portuguese desserts or pastries. This is the easiest to pronounce. It is called Cocos, and it is a tart with flaky dough on the outside, and it's stuffed with, loaded I would say, with
Coconut filling, yes.
Next one is queijada. It is egg based, right? And it actually comes in different flavors. We got passion fruit,
Which is lilikoi in Hawaiian.
and they also make it with orange and just traditional. This little thing is a mini sample of pastry called chila.
And they come massive, but we got the little one because we're not sure if we're going to like it, but it's sweet, so why not?
And this next one is another miniature version. It's called Bola de Berlin, and they do have massive ones like this.
And it's covered with powdered sugar. So we kind of got a little smaller bite-sized samples of them, and of course we're sure we're gonna like them, so we're gonna have to order the large ones.
Now let's dig in. Now let's start with Cocos.
A lot of coconut. It's definitely like a coconut tart. It's not too sweet.
Pretty good. If you're a fan of coconut, definitely try it out. Let's try this egg-based lilikoi flavor.
All right, let's get into this lilikoi.
It is very soft. I can tell, almost like a pudding.
A lot of flavor.
Wow.
Yes.
So far, I like this one better.
Yes, a
And
lot of flavor.
It's a lot of syrup. It actually dripped down my fingers as I'm squeezing it.
Wow.
So it is super moist on the inside and super passion fruity.
Yes. If you're a fan of lilikoi, that one is a must.
Or you can again try orange flavor or an original one.
Very pungent.
Next one, let's go. Wow, this one looks like it's a lot of little strings and it's jelly type consistency.
It's kind of like an apple pie, but it's shredded. It's not like chunks of apple, but that's definitely what it reminds me of. Really good.
And now, Bol de Berlin.
You know, this one I was excited for because I've seen it in all the windows as I pass by, and like I said, this one is not really covered a lot with powdered sugar, but when you see them, they're usually white, like just snowflakes on top of them. but it's a mini
And
size.
the yellow stuff inside that looks like mango, it actually again yolk based, egg based.
So it's just egg yolk
Sauce.
mixed with sugar. But when you do see it in the window, it looks like it's an apricot
mango.
or a mango, right? It's that type of color, and it looks almost like slices. But that's just the way the egg yolk is. Definitely messy. I could imagine the bigger one is super messy.
I thought it would be very soft and powdery, but I really like the inside.
Yes, the inside, that egg base tastes really good. So now I'm really interested in trying the larger one because they look like they have a lot of the inside stuffing of the egg mixture.
So far, Queijada is our favorite,
Yes, by far. It is really good.
but all the rest are really good as well.
When in Porto, one of the most popular places to come to try some food is the Majestic Cafe. And yes, the prices are very touristy, but the food is definitely worth it.
I ordered the mixed berry cheesecake and it is just so good. It's not your typical cheesecake where it's kind of dense. This is really light and very buttery. It's very creamy. It has a very creamy texture to it. And
Almost like mousse, but a harder consistency.
and with the pairing with the berries, so good.
And this is their famous Pastel de Nada. We tried it in different places. You want to try it from here?
And the crust, very flaky and crunchy.
Super crunchy.
But I just noticed the filling on the inside, the custard. So the inside is made with eggs, sugar, and milk. Here, it's a very thin layer of it. In other places we've had it, it's a much thicker, puffier, fluffier, if you will, filling. This one is a little flat.
Yeah, I think the outside is a little bit too crunchy for me. I prefer the other places we tried.
I prefer flaky. This is crunchy. We've had it in other places and it's flaky, it's light.
But the cheesecake, definitely worth it.
And now we are at
Montegoria. And this is actually a factory where they make these delights, Pastel de Nadas. That's all they do. They specialize on only making pastel de natas. When coming to Porto, a must-try thing is the pastel de nata. They sell them everywhere, and we will tell you where the best place to try these little guys is, because we have tried them in a lot of places.
just came from Majestic Cafe, where we just bought the exact same thing. Now, mind you, I can safely say now, not all pastel de nata are made the same. This one, for example, it's filled to the top with the cream. In the Majestic Cafe, it wasn't. In the Majestic Cafe, the outside, the crust, was actually really crunchy and not flaky. This one, flaky.
I can
Big
hear
difference.
it by the crunch.
And the amount of custard in it, spot on. And of course, you want to always pair that with some.
Porto wine.
That's right. Cheers.
We are now at Consideria do Bulao.
And we are trying their pastries. We walked past here the other day. We looked in the window, and like most places, we were just at awe at all the amazing desserts they have at the window. So we decided to come in today and try some of their pastries.
So in this plate we have 3 different egg yolk based pastries. The orange one is castanha de osh. Osh in Portuguese means egg. This weird looking one is oshmosh, and the next one is batinho de oshmosh. The fruit-looking cake is boulangeche, and the fruit tart with a variety of fresh fruit. Okay, so let's try with this one.
So the consistency of this is kind of like a marshmallow or those gummy, those gummy marshmallow,
somewhere in between.
candies. It's not sweet at all. It has a light sweetness to it.
Do you taste the egg?
I don't taste the egg, but I can see why the consistency is the way it is because of the egg yolk. And of course they mix it with sugar, so it gets almost like gluten-y.
It's probably they add more ingredients.
Right.
But it's not bad.
Yeah,
It's
it's not
pretty
bad.
interesting. It's almost like candy.
Yes.
This is a funny one. The outside is actually tastes like thinner version of an ice cream cone with exactly the same thing as this. So it's the stuffing is this, but covered with an ice cream cone.
The description was spot on. The only thing is that Irina mentioned that the outside is like an ice cream cone. It's like an ice cream cone, except it's soft. You see, for example, if I pull it, it's not crunchy at all. It's very soft. It has no flavor whatsoever. So like Irina said, it's the pastry we tried before this, just stuffed inside this coating. It's okay. I'm going to try this. It looks like a little canoe. Again, same filling, different exterior. So this one is more of like a crust, again, not flaky, it's just basically soft, same way as the exterior of this. And the flavor don't differ from any of the other two, except this one has maybe a little bit of cinnamon on top, and that's the coloration that you get.
They're all pretty much the same taste because of all the filling that is inside. And again, the outside also tastes to me almost like the ice cream cone, but soft. And so this one is white and this one is a little more brown. And now let's try this fruit cake. It is loaded with different dried fruits. Oh wow, it's definitely predominantly dried fruits. You get that little crunch because the fruits are obviously dried, so it has a little firmer texture. The dough is pretty sweet, so this cake is really sweet, but because it's more of fruits than the cake, so it makes it more of a texture thing. I like it. This one is really good.
Now we're going to try this fruit tart. I want to get all of the fruits on there. Really good. The berries are sweet. On top, it's kind of like a jelly covering on top, along with the fruits. Of course, the tart, the crust is really good. It's nice and crispy. It's not soggy.
Crunchy maybe?
Yeah, this is really good. I like this. Yes, out of everything so far, I mean, I'm kind of biased to fruit tarts because I love fruit tarts, but yeah, this is really good.
We are in search for the best Pastel de Nadas, and being that this place is really popular, we want to try here. This place was actually recommended us by a local, and they don't bake their goods here. They actually source all the best pastries from different bakeries and bring them here freshly every day. Next one on our list is Mini Josecita, and this is very popular. Any bakery we pass by, they sell this, but they come in different varieties. So this is a mini one. Obviously, I didn't want to order the big one, and this one is a little different because it has strawberry jam on top. But normally, you would see kind of like a triangle covered with this type of thing on top. And it is very flaky and they are pretty large. So just to try it, I got the mini one.
Oh, that looks very. Look at all the flakes, the layers. Look at that. Look at all the layers of phyllo dough. How's it?
This is actually really good. It is so light, so flaky, and I actually really love the top. If you can see the top, it's kind of like sugary and powdery. Yes, the top is very crusty, so it doesn't look like it would be good, but it actually breaks up into this sugary, powdery consistency, and it gives the sweetness to this pastry. And of course, the strawberry jelly adds a little bit of fruitiness to it. I actually love it, and now, best believe I can eat the entire triangle of the original big one. When in Porto, besides port wine, sangria is a must try. Cheers! Wine experience or wine tasting is a thing here in Porto, and in all the wine cellars that you go to, you typically gonna be charged about 15 to 25 euros for the tasting, but here at the market it is only 5 euros, and you get 3 choices, opposed to in a wine cellar typically they give you 2 choices of wine. So here we have white, tawny, and ruby. The lady said to start with white first. It's very aromatic, and I like that it's cold. It's very fresh and sweet. Tawny. Oh, it's also cold. I really like this one too. It's a little bit less sweet, and it has a lot of cherry flavor. Ruby, full body. It's also served cold. You can see the glass is frosted, and the difference between this one and this one looks like it's medium body, and this one looks like it's more of a full body. They're all excellent, and for 5 euros you can't beat that. We are now in Fabbrica de Nata. We've been here for a month in Porto, and Pastel de Nata is one of our favorite dessert here. The way you need to eat Pastel de Nata is to add cinnamon on top of it, and cinnamon adds a really nice layer to the flavor, but of course not everyone likes cinnamon, so if you don't like cinnamon you can just eat it like that, but trust me, if you don't mind cinnamon, try it with cinnamon as well. So, turns out, Fabbrica de Nata makes the best pastel de natas in our opinion. It is so flaky, it is warm. We've had it from here so many times, and this, in our opinion, is the best one. They have several locations in Porto, so when you come to Porto, be sure to stop by at Fabbrica de Nata for some pastel de natas.
The reason we love the natas from Fabbrica de Nata is that they bake it right on premises. A lot of other places that do sell this, they get it baked and then it gets sent to that location and they sell it. So it gets cold. It's been sitting there for hours. Here, it's baked right on premises. You see the baker right in the window. They display the baker so you know it's fresh. I've just been into this. It is super warm. As Irina mentioned, it's flaky. That is the reason why we love it here. So good.
Porto has some awesome foods, sweets, and the wines as well.
Absolutely.
And this is it for our must-try sweets and drinks in Porto. We have also created must-try foods in Porto. If you haven't seen it already, be sure to click the link in the description below.
All you foodies, that one's for you.
If you have tried any of those sweets before, let us know in the comments what was your favorite. Obrigada for watching, and as usual,
Just be out with us.